Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining the channel. Today we're going to talk about Applied Digital and what has been a very interesting and volatile period for the stock. So far this year, it has been quite a ride. After gaining around 50% in January, the stock has pulled back significantly, dropping about 24% over the past month and even falling another 4% today alone. Despite this recent pullback, analysts remain extremely optimistic, and many of them are continuing to raise their price targets, with some forecasts reaching well into the $50 range. Applied Digital still has several strong catalysts that could influence the stock in the near future. And in today's video, this video is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial, investment, or trading advice. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video should be interpreted as a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any stocks, cryptocurrencies, or other financial assets. All investments involve risk, and the market can be highly volatile. The information discussed in this video is based on publicly available sources and personal opinions at the time of recording, which may change without notice. Always do your own research and consider consulting with a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any financial losses or decisions made based on the information presented in this video. I want to discuss one major catalyst that very few people are talking about right now. We will also take a closer look at the charts to evaluate the potential opportunity and possible entry points at the current levels. There are also some very important dates approaching within the next 3 weeks that investors should keep an eye on, so make sure you stick around until the end because you definitely won't want to miss that. Now let's get straight into it. First, what exactly does Applied Digital do? In simple terms, the company builds AI superfactories, essentially advanced data centers designed specifically to handle extremely heavy artificial intelligence workloads. These facilities use liquid cooling systems and high-performance infrastructure built for the next generation of AI computing. In many ways, Applied Digital is not just another technology company. It functions more like a high-performance utility. Think of them as landlords for the AI elite, providing the infrastructure that major technology companies need to run their massive AI operations. Now, earlier today, I came across something very interesting being discussed online. There are reports that Applied Digital has started activity at its Rapids Parish, Louisiana location, which is known as the Delta Forge 1 site. According to local discussions and public information, it appears the company may have begun breaking ground on this property. The information circulating online is dated today, which makes it particularly interesting. This raises the question of whether this location could become the next large-scale data center project for the company. Public records and local economic development activity suggest that Applied Digital has been positioning this site for a major data center development. Back in December, the company purchased approximately 672 acres of land near the town in Rapids Parish, Louisiana. And now there are indications that early development activity may already be starting. At the moment, what we know for certain is that Applied Digital owns the land and is making improvements to the site. Reports also indicate that the company is currently in discussions with a potential hyperscaler tenant. However, according to local officials, the project will only move forward into finalized agreements once a tenant is officially secured. At that point, the developer would finalize the terms with local and state authorities regarding power supply. According to comments from local representatives, Applied Digital appears confident about solving the power requirements. As for water usage, the expected demand would actually be relatively modest because the company's data centers rely on closed-loop cooling systems, which significantly reduce water consumption compared to traditional cooling methods. Now, when we look at the charts, it's very easy to get caught up in short-term negativity, especially if we focus only on the past few weeks or the past couple of months. For example, over the last month, Applied Digital is down about 24%, which obviously doesn't look great and can make the situation appear worse than it may actually be. However, if we zoom out and look at the bigger picture over the past 9 months, we can see that the stock has actually been moving within a fairly steady upward trend. During this period, the trend line has repeatedly acted as both support and resistance. Multiple tests of this line have occurred over the past 9 months, and many of those moments resulted in strong reactions in price. You can clearly see these points when reviewing the chart markers. Only a couple of times has the stock moved significantly above or below this range, and at the moment the price is currently sitting slightly below that trend line. There are also 2 important moments to remember from recent history. If you look back at the rally that occurred in November, the stock experienced a strong move upward following the announcement of a major funding round for Polaris Forge 1, along with the completion of Phase 2. If similar major news were to emerge regarding the Louisiana project, it's possible we could see a comparable reaction in the market. Right now, the stock dipping below the trend line for the first time in a while could potentially create the setup for another catalyst-driven move. Another major development involves a power generation project valued at approximately $2.4 billion. This project is intended to supply power to Applied Digital's AI factory campuses through separate power supply agreements. The infrastructure will include 4 300-megawatt natural gas-fired boilers along with steam turbine generator systems. According to the company, this project represents a critical step toward converting large-scale power capacity into operational AI computing capability. Partnerships like this are considered foundational for supporting the rapidly growing demand coming from their data center campuses. In addition to this project, the company is also evaluating an option for an additional 1.2 gigawatts of power generation capacity to support future expansion. And this is where things become extremely important. If Applied Digital successfully secures that additional 1.2 gigawatts of power capacity, it could place the company among the largest AI infrastructure providers in North America. That would be a very significant milestone. Catalyst number 2 involves speculation that Applied Digital could announce another major hyperscaler lease agreement before April 18th. Expectations have increased significantly after previous announcements involving large technology partners, and investors are now closely watching for the next potential deal. Catalyst number 3 is the $2.4 billion contract related to the Babcock & Wilcox power generation infrastructure, which forms the foundation for the company's broader campus expansion plans. All of these developments together could play a major role in the company's future growth. So the big question now is, what do you think about the opportunity here? At the moment, there are around 10 Wall Street analysts covering the stock, and their average price target sits near $52. The highest target goes as high as $99, while one of the most recent targets issued just last week sits around $56. Clearly, there is a lot of optimism among analysts, but at the same time, the global market environment remains extremely volatile and uncertain. There may be a huge opportunity here, but investors also need to remain aware that the broader market is currently experiencing significant turbulence. Of course, this is just my opinion and not financial advice. If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Your support really helps the channel grow and ensures that more investors can discover this content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.